Hello everyone, you welcome back to my channel. I am Oma, and in today's tutorial I'll be teaching you guys how to make this cute baby booties. I'll be working with our 3.0mm hook as shown, and then this yeye yarns, my measuring tape, my stitch marker, and of course a pair of scissors. So let's get right into the video, okay? So firstly, I'll try to roll my yarns over my finger, and right here I'm trying to make a slip knot, of which I'll start chaining with. So I'm actually going to be making this baby booties for a 0 to 3 months old baby. So we will be working with a full length of about 3.5 inches. So firstly, I'm chaining up to 2 inches, which is my foundation chain for this baby boots. Using my measuring tape, I'll quickly place this on top of the tape to just confirm if I have 2 inches right here. So 2 inches. Check, we have 2 inches right here. So the next thing we're actually going to be doing is to chain extra 2 chains and then make a double crochet on the very third chain space over there. So right now you can see we have 2 double crochets already. So we keep making double crochets from here to the end of this chain spaces. Right now we are almost at the end of this row. Hold your work firmly and make sure you don't miss any chain space at all, and keep double crocheting to the very last chain space. Now on this very last chain space, we are actually going to be making 8 double crochet stitches on that very single chain space. Make sure you have 8 double crochets in that hole right there. And that's the very last one. So after which we'll start making normal double crochet stitches on each of the single spaces back to the last stitch on this row. And now at the end of this row, which is the tail, we are going to be making 7 double crochets on the very last chain space over here. And after the last double crochet here, we are actually going to make a slip stitch on the first double crochet space there, just like this. Make another slip stitch over to the next chain space, and try and look at your work to make sure that everything is well fixed and balanced. Then you chain up 3, just like this. Make a double crochet on that very same chain space. Make another double crochet on the very chain space. That's 3 double crochets in one particular chain space. Then you make regular double crochets over to the next chain space, down to the edge of this baby boots. Now we are approaching the 8 double crochets which we made in the same circle. So the next thing for us to do is to make 2 double crochets in each chain space of those 8 double crochets which we made in one circle. 2 double crochets in each of them around this curve, and I'll meet you when you're done with your 8 with your 2 double crochets on the 8 double crochets along this curve, and I'll tell us what next to do. Okay guys, we just finished the 2 double crochets in each of these 8 double crochets in one circle. The next thing for us to do is to actually make regular double crochets on each chain space down to the end of the row or towards the curve. Okay guys, on this other curve, we're actually going to be making the same 2 double crochets in each chain space over here 7 times. And when you're done with that, just make a slip stitch from the very top of the first chain 3, and then that's it. Okay guys, actually on this baby booties, we are working with 2 colors, which is the blue and the white, because we're trying to make this design with the white yarn. So I'll be introducing the white yarn over here, which is at the lining or edge of this baby's sole, or at the sole of the boot rather. So right here I'll be introducing the white yarn, but I'll be making this double crochet stitches over the loop. So firstly I'll just cut off the blue yarn, just like this. Tie the blue and the white yarn. I'll knot it together just to make sure that it doesn't slip off. I'll do that when I'm back, but now I'm going to be making double crochets over the loop, the backward loop. As you can see what I'm doing right here, I'm double crocheting on one loop, which is the backward loop, just like this, because we're trying to form a curve or a bending for the sole. So this is the sole, and the white part is the upper part of the baby boots. So keep making your double crochets round the entire sole. No increases and no doubling, just single double crochets on each chain space over the loop. And I'll meet you guys when I get to the end. So right now I am actually done with the white yarn, and I'll be reintroducing the blue yarn back to the baby boots, just like this. At that part where we are supposed to make a slip stitch on the very first chain 3 is where we will be bringing in the blue yarn, just like this. You slip stitch and then you chain we chain 1. So here we'll come back and tie our strands back so our project doesn't loosen up. And when you're done securing your edges, make sure you flip your work over just like this. Make a single crochet on the very first chain space, which is there. Right now we're going to be making 8 single crochets along this path. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Yes, and that's the last single crochet. So right now we are going to be making 2 double crochets, 2 together along this path, just like this. And we've made 1 double crochet, 2 together. Let me repeat that again. To make this double crochet 2 together, just the way we formed ours, what you're going to be doing is that you would yarn over, insert your hook like this. You have 3, you yarn over, you are left with 2, insert your hook again back there, yarn over 2, yarn over the last 2, and that's it. So watch this carefully so you can be able to do this 2 double crochets 2 together, just like this, because we're trying to form a cup or a bending over this side. So that's the stitch we'll be using. Now it's going to help us to contrast the baby booties and form it properly. So watch carefully and make sure you see the details just the way I'm doing it slowly, so you can clearly see what I'm doing and you do exactly the same thing. And I'll meet you guys after you're done making your 8 double crochets 2 together. Right now I'm done with my 8 double crochets 2 together, and this is what we formed. As you can see, it's gradually forming. We are gradually having that bending or that contraction at this front part of this baby booties. Now we're going to continue with our 1 single crochets in each chain space back to the end of this row, and I'll tell you guys what to do when you get towards the end of the row. Our baby booties is gradually forming. Can you see the sole neatly made? And now we are forming this bending over here, and it's actually forming, and we like what we're having over here. Okay guys, so we are actually getting to the very end of this particular row that we are working on. So the next thing for us to do is that we are actually going to be skipping one chain space and make a slip stitch at the end, just as shown. Now you're going to be chaining up one, make a single crochet right beside that. Basically you're going to be making 8 single crochets along this path, and then I'll show us what next to do. Once you get to this very point, remember you're going to be making 4 double crochets 2 together on top of this first 8 double crochets 2 together we've already made. So this one is my very first 2 double crochets 2 together. Right here I'm going to be making another one right beside that. So just in case you didn't grab what these 2 double crochets 2 together is all about in the first one, make sure you watch carefully here to grab what this pattern is all about. And now that I have completed the fourth 2 double crochet 2 together, that's the last one, we'll be making a single crochet from this end till the end of this row, guys, and then I'll be showing us what's next. Okay guys, as you can see, from this particular point we've gotten to now, you can see that the shape, the baby boot shape, is actually forming, and we are getting that curve which is supposed to be at the front of the boots, just as shown. So it means that we are actually getting the shape correctly. So just keep working and I'll meet you at the end of this particular row. Now for this new row, chain 1, then make 8 single crochets along this path up to the middle point, and when we get there I'll show you guys what to do. Now at this point we are making 2 double crochets 2 together on this very place twice, so that's what we are going to be doing here. Then work single crochets back to the very end of this particular row. And we are almost approaching the end of this row, just as shown. So keep working your single crochets, and at the end make your slip stitch, then chain 1 to begin the new row. So now I'm making another 8 single crochets up here on this new row down to the very middle. So now we're actually at that middle point. Now we're going to be working 1 double crochet 2 together in these chain spaces here. So 1 double crochet 2 together is only what we are doing on the middle point of this row. So after that, make your normal single crochets from there and work around the entire row. And now we have successfully completed that row, guys. So check out our cute baby booties. The shape is actually forming pretty well, and this is the sole, this is the side, and this is the base. This is what we have so far. We're actually getting the shape. And so after this part, we are going to be working just one single crochet all along this row to the very end. Now at this point, we are actually going to be reintroducing our white yarn back to the project. So on that very point, you are meant to make a slip stitch, is where you'll be introducing the white one just as shown. Then chain up 3, which we are going to be using to work extra double crochets on this row. Cut that off and tie your work quickly and neatly so we can begin the new row. So for this new row, basically we are just making one double crochet in each of the chain spaces round the entire boots. So work one double crochet one by one, single by single, until you've worked around the entire project. Then I'll show you guys what next to do after that. So now we are almost at the end of this row. Just make a slip stitch on this very point, and that's all for this row. Then chain up 3. Guys, for this row, actually we are going to be working one double crochet along the row, but in a different form, using the front post back post stitch. That means that you're going to be working from the front here, just like this. Work your double crochet. The next double crochet will be from the behind back post, just like this. So on this row, you're going to be working your front post, back post, front post, back post, round the entire ankle of this baby boots. And once you get to the end of this row, I'll show you guys what next to do. And now we are almost at the end of the row, guys. So just make the last front post back post stitch and then make a slip stitch to seal the end. Chain up 3 for the new row, and then make your front post stitch just like this. So just follow the pattern. The ones facing the front is where you'll be passing the front post. The ones facing the back is where you'll be doing your back post. So this is basically what we have here, and we are gradually forming the ankle of this baby boot. So you'll be working this front post back post stitch up until 4 rows. This is your first row, second row. You're actually on the 3rd row now. So you're going to be making 4 rows entirely of this front post back post stitch. And when we are done with that, I'll show us what next to do. So guys, this is actually what this front post back post stitch is giving us here. I am so much in love with this particular stitch because of the kind of finishing it gives the work. So keep working front post back post, and I'll meet you guys when I meet you guys, okay? And when you're done, make sure you cut the ends, knot it together, and seal in your ends. And now we are going to be making our baby shoelaces just by chaining up to your desired length. So I actually doubled my strand here and I worked as long as 14 inches. You can actually do this or work to your own desired length, but as for me, I worked 14 inches, which I'm going to be connecting round the ankle of this baby boot. This is going to serve as a fastener to tighten or loosen the grip on the ankle. And now I'm going to be placing this shoe mold into the baby boots that we've made to give this a better fit and make us understand the shape that we are working with here. And now we are going to be passing the baby shoelaces that we just made inside this ankle, like across the ankle, round across the ankle, from one stitch to the other till you have passed it round the entire ankle, just as shown. Also do the same for the second baby boot, and right now we are going to be fastening those baby shoelaces just as shown. But before that, I'm actually going to be passing my beads across the shoelaces. And with that, we've come to the end of this video, guys. Our cute baby booties are really colorful and nice. You can try this out and let me know in the comment section if you tried this out and how you went about it and all that. And of course, I'm sure you enjoyed this video, so please give this video a thumbs up, tap the subscribe button and put on your notification bell so you don't miss updates such as this. And until then, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.